Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Living with Aspergers, and today I'm going to be talking about literally getting overwhelmed by fuck. So a lot of people don't understand how difficult it is to live with Aspergers when you have all this stuff going on in your head. And this is a big issue for me because I am a very creative person. I have entire stories that I'm never able to write down because I have Asperger's syndrome. I have one story, and then I come up with another great idea, and I'm like, you know what, maybe I should do that instead. And then I end up in a vicious cycle that I could never really escape from. But this is my life right now, and unfortunately I just have to deal with it. And this seems to be the only thing I can continue with, so I'm gonna roll with that. When we get overwhelmed with stuff, once again, usually it isn't from the outside world, it's from stuff that's occurring in our heads. This is what my head usually sounds like when I'm not really thinking about anything. This is a part of the reason why I don't usually have an empty mind, or I don't do any meditation or anything like that, because that happens all the time, 24/7, and there's no way to stop it, unfortunately. But, you know, every once in a while someone from the outside does overwhelm us a little bit, and I'm going to tell you one of those stories. So it happened about a week ago, I think. It was on a Sunday, and I was working at my job. I'm a cart pusher, but every once in a while I'm told to do cashier work. And I'm able to do this cashier work fairly well. I know how the registers work, and I know how pretty much everything else works. So this one guy comes up to me, and he's all like, you know, hey, I'd like to buy these items, and it was just some Jimmy Dean sausage and a toothbrush. So I say, yeah, sure, and I scan all the items in, and just before I hit the total button, he says something along the line of, hold up, something's not right here. And I'm like, okay, what's wrong? And he started yelling at me, almost screaming at me, about how shitty of an employee I was because his order was $1 off. Yeah. It didn't totally overwhelm me. Not as much as that one narcissist a-hole that got to me last, I think it was a couple of weeks ago? Yeah. But this guy legitimately thought I was the worst employee ever because I didn't know of a deal that was going on. How am I supposed to memorize all of these deals? No one is able to at my work, and I can't either. And, you know, we have these things called My Devices that will help us determine whether there is a deal on something or not. And he did that, and my manager came over, confirmed the deal was a thing, and then I typed in the correct value, which was $1 off. But the machine itself didn't have this value on it. And this guy just did not understand this concept. He just kept on yelling at me for no reason. Now, don't get me wrong. You have a right to be angry if there isn't a deal, but it wasn't even my fault, and he was acting like, you know, the entire store was ripping him off. So he left, and we just continued on with our day because we didn't have enough time to deal with that bullshit. So about an hour later, I'm not even kidding, he goes up to my HR representative and he starts yelling at her about the thing that I apparently did that was so bad. And then he just walked out of the store and said, "Don't fucking rip people off," as he was walking out. And all of the customers that were there heard this, and quite a few of them were looking at me because he pointed directly at me. Now, this is awkward, but in the end, it turned out that those customers were actually, you know, they felt sorry for me because I had to deal with that bullshit earlier. And this is the type of shit that we have to deal with on a daily basis. So that is my story. That's about it. My camera's about to run out of batteries, actually. So if you like the video, hit that like and that subscribe button, and I will see all you guys in a week or so, or whenever I find time to record another video. Peace.